forearm shape. Now I know that I've mentioned it, that it's a peanut shape with a box on the end and all that jazz, but I wanted to physically draw it for you. So this is how I would perceive the box. Forearm's going to be something like that. It's very boxy, and then this part of the forearm becomes extremely cylindrical. Okay, so usually this is the bone that you really got to cling on to, right from the elbow, coming on right on down to the wrist. Let me raise this, the ulna. And if you can just remember that that's going to come kind of somewhat straight, and gravity is going to pull down that forearm, and that this is a box, wow, that's going to help you tremendously. So now I'm just going to continue with this box thing, kind of. This is what I wanted to point out to you like a little bit more. Do you see this pivot of the knuckles? So you want to think of this as being like round, those knuckles, not a straight line all the time. So now let me just come on back in. Gravity's going to pull down those little finger muscles, and there's really no line that separates the light from the dark on this. It's just mainly front light. But this is the side plane of the box of the back of the hand. So you've got this pivot, you've got the box of the back of the hand, and you've got the box of the wrist. Okay, now the next thing, and I leave the thumb out. Notice how I do that. That is so important because the thumb can get extremely confusing. Thumb has just got one of those really confusing personalities that we don't like to talk about. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the pivot of my fingertips. So you see how I'm doing that, how I'm wrapping it around. It's angles and this generic pivot shape at the same time. And now let's do it for this joint. It's same thing. It's pivoting around, and I think about that all the time. So I'm using a combination of all these different techniques. So now let me just kind of come on in a little bit more. Your next step would be, you could either A, draw each individual finger, and there's also like one more phalanx joint that I can put on in there. Let me get in just a couple things here before I get into that minutia. All right, so I'm just getting in that little finger. Fingers are going to originate from a little bit more inside of the hand. And let's see, 1, 2, how many fingers we got here, Matt? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So, and this is like webbing right over here on your hand. Sounds silly, but that's what it is, because your joint is more in the back of your hand where your metacarpal and your first phalanx kind of meet. So I'm getting that finger in, and now let's get these two angles. Looking at the negative space at the same time. I'm thinking about the bones. Okay, so that's working for me. So let me just kind of get in the edge a little bit better, or the contour, I should say. And yeah. Okay, so up to this joint. Now, gravity, and wrap in. And let's get in the last phalanx over here. It's going to be a little bit of a flatter finger. Cool. That's going to wrap into that joint. Come in, come out, come in, thinking of the angles. All right, very nice. And now we're going to just wrap around. Now let's make this finger a little bit thicker because it's too skinny. And let's just, I'm thinking about the different individual joints. Okay, I'll lean back. There's a little side plane over here indicated by a skinny tone. I made that negative space too small, but that's okay. As long as I understand that I did it, and I understand what is wrong with it if I wanted it to be exact. Technically, this little finger, I've made it too long. So I'll just adjust everything. All right, cool. So now let's go back. And work on the knuckles. All right, and there's a little side plane on this. And then from this joint down, that's all in shadow. From here down, that's all in shadow. This, we just have like a little doodad of the side of that phalanx, couple of lines that wrap in, a little bit of a shadow, a little side of that phalanx over there, and then this is just skinny because this is primarily in light. Getting like a little tonal shift, and now from it becomes a little bit more boxy over here. This is all shadow. Cool. Shadow, side plane shadow from that joint down, that's all shadow. This is kind of pretty much all in shadow. And this is just side plane shadow.